Isaac! Isaac!
The Binding of Isaac is fastly approaching its 10-year anniversary. The game initially released on September 28, 2011, and within that time the game has amassed a large amount of fans like myself, but also a large amount of people who hate the game, like Alex. Over the span of 10 years, the creator of the game, Ed McMillan, has created the main game, a DLC for that game, a remastered version of the game, and on top of that, 3 more DLCs for the game. So in honor of Isaac coming up on its 10-year anniversary, and on behalf of both the fans and the haters, here's the absolute best of Isaac and the absolute worst of Isaac. The best part of Isaac by far is the replayability. This obviously makes sense because it falls under the roguelike genre, and these types of games are meant to be replayed. But the Binding of Isaac takes it up to a whole new level. The Binding of Isaac has over 500 items, and almost all of them have cool synergies with multiple other items in the game. There are also over 100 bosses in the game and around 200 different enemies. On top of that, there are 23 playable characters. Yes, that's right, you heard me correctly. 23 characters who all have different starting stats, abilities, and starting items. Now, all of that may sound extremely overwhelming for someone looking to get into the game, but rest be assured that Isaac handles this perfectly. It starts you off with only one character unlocked and only has to progress far enough to beat one major boss. After you've proven that you can beat it, it unlocks deeper floors that you can access. Then after proving that you can beat that, it opens even more and continues to do so until you unlock all areas, all bosses, all characters, trinkets, cards, pills, and items. And on top of all of that, you get achievements for everything you unlock, which personally gave me the motivation to keep replaying. Okay, now to switch gears. The absolute worst part of the Binding of Isaac is the element of luck. Now let me explain. In any roguelike game, Isaac included, obviously in order to progress, you're going to have to hone your skills, and as Hornet from Hollow Knight would say, get good. But in the Binding of Isaac, on top of just being able to play well, you need to have at least a certain degree of luck on your side. In the game, there are pills that are unknown. They can be positive or negative, but you don't know until you try one. You have to be lucky and hope it's good. I can already hear you typing in the comments, well then just don't take pills on your runs, which is true. It's an option many players choose to do, but that was only the beginning of my issues with luck. In the game, there is also a boss called Delirium. In order to reach this boss, you need to have luck on your side. The portal to take you to his floor has a chance to appear after every major boss, but the percentage for that portal to appear is low. Unless you fight and beat the boss called the Hush, the portal to Delirium's floor has a 100% chance to appear after defeating that boss. So where's the luck in that? Having a consistent way to get to the boss makes it seem like there's no luck needed, but that's also untrue. In order to reach that boss, you need to complete 8 floors, each floor containing a boss or major boss, in under half an hour. Sure, you could argue any skilled player could do this in any single run, but you would be wrong. Luck once again plays a part in how fast you can beat the floors. The newest DLC added tiers to items. The tiers only go up to 4, and obviously the best items in the game are tier 4, and some of the worst are tier 1. There are much more tier 1 items than there are tier 4, which means you would have to be lucky to find a tier 4 item on one of the first floors. If you have a run that is only tier 1 items, sure, with enough skill you'd be able to complete a regular run, but you wouldn't be fast enough to make it to the Hush fight, and you wouldn't be able to get the 100% chance to fight Delirium. This is why the luck element is the worst part of Isaac. Sure, you can have amazing runs sometimes, but there's an equal or even larger possibility that you end up having a run with garbage items and are unable to have a worthwhile run because of it. In conclusion, I think The Binding of Isaac is definitely a game that's worth trying out. If you're interested in it, try The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Then if you really end up enjoying it, purchase the DLCs. Like any roguelike, it can be an extremely fun game if you're willing to spend the time to get good at the game. Just make sure to bring your good luck charm before playing.